All right, good morning. Let's get this Friday, April 17th Economic Development Commission meeting called to order. First piece of business is the approval of the March minutes.
March minutes are in the packet that I sent to you, and I think you guys received them beforehand to review.
Brad, do you want to give me those?
What?
Pull the mic up closer.
Any questions, concerns? I'll take a motion to.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you.
And actually, this is typically where Brad will give his update, and I neglected to add that to the agenda, so this would be where we would move to Brad for financial update.
Before we do that, after Sarah has left us after what seemed like, what was it, 12, 14 years of helping the city, we want to congratulate Angela on her new position as the Economic Development Director. She just seems to keep taking on more hats, and we're happy to have her.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Looking at the budget, it didn't seem like there was a lot of change. I don't need to really, or mean to cut Brad out of the meeting, but if there's nothing really, anybody got any questions, we can move on to big grants.
I'll just throw in, we did make our $10,000 payment to the Chamber of Commerce for the Visitor Center and the $50,000 for Basel Main Street. The second and third payment for the Marian University study, the fourth and final payment is in April, so you'll see that next month. And then just payroll office expense type stuff.
I know that it's pretty minor, but and maybe it just showed up on this way, but I wonder if there could maybe be an actual column as well where we could just make sure that that might illustrate what's been paid. Oh, so it's a different one that's in the packet.
You know, yesterday I was going through it and I thought the same exact thing.
Okay.
So I do have actual expenses, so you'll see that next month.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, big grants.
So can I speak to that? Is that, trying to make sure. So we have 10 applications that came in through the Batesville Improvement Grant, and those were sent to everyone on the commission. I think that historically it sounds like maybe we've not had this many come through before, where we've had to kind of parse those down and make decisions. So as I looked through that, I just wanted to make a recommendation to the group that maybe we consider putting together like a matrix or scoring sheet to evaluate these more appropriately, so we're not just kind of making gut feels. I did put together a template of what that might look like, so I'd like to kind of share that with everyone this morning. This is just a draft. I just kind of threw some things out there, tried to align it with our strategic plan, see if that would make sense. But if we want to just go through these 10 today, but we definitely have requests that outweigh our budget. So unless we extend the budget, we will have to decline some of these. So I thought it would be reasonable to have like a scoring system to help guide us in that decision.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I was thinking the exact same thing, and quite frankly, maybe having them pre-scored, right, where it's not subjective, right,
Yes.
It's objective, and kind of have that included with the actual projects. My concern with implementing something now is that we really haven't had time to discuss, and do we give weight? And I'm not trying to over discuss it, but that would be my concern.
And my thought for this one was that we would not go purely on score because of that reason, but maybe use that score to create buckets of high probability, low probability, and then those in the middle. So if we know that as we score, we all really agree that there's a couple that come out with very high scores, then those are for sure at the top. Then it helps really more the intention than it would help streamline our conversation.
Right.
So, and if this is not, if we'd rather implement this for later, we can do that. But my intention was not this would be purely based on score, but it would be a way for us to kind of group these into buckets so that it would be easier to have that conversation and have some merit behind why we put people where they were. So just a thought, I just want to put it out. If we want to go through and have discussion about each of these 10, we can do that. Or my thought was maybe we do the scoring, and then if we need to either have a special meeting or come back at the next meeting to and go through the decisions.
Thank you very much for putting this together. I appreciate having a scoring sheet. But I look at it, and there's some things on the scoring sheet that I don't really know are in line with what the big grant program is about.
I would agree. I put a
Okay.
whole bunch of stuff there with the intention that you guys would like redline it. So
Yeah, and I think to that point, Amy, I mean, maybe part of this whole conversation as we put the program together for next year, right? And let's not wait until December to do this. But I think we need to, what do we want out of the big program, right? I think initially it was, we want to improve visibility, right? You're driving downtown, and that was one of the main criteria. Is that still our main emphasis? Do we want to help new businesses, right, in light of the strategic plan? So,
And I thought big was available to anybody in the
Yes.
city. So,
as long as they're within city limits, right?
right, so that's not downtown.
Correct.
Okay.
And that was
Not just
trying to
down.
go back and see if I could find some historical data, and I wasn't able to get my hands on it. I'm sure it's out there that is from the conception of the Batesville Improvement Grant that talks about what the intentions were. So I just wanted to kind of say, like, I do think that with the having so many, and my understanding being that we have not traditionally had this many, it might make sense to have a process around how we made these decisions.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you didn't happen for fun just to put any of the applications through this, did you?
A little bit.
Given all of the conversations that we've had about budget, I know in years past, we have increased the budget to help cover some of that. I'm a little reluctant to do that. This is just me personally. I'm a little reluctant to do that this year until we have some visibility into, I think we've wanted to keep a significant amount back just so that we have operating income, not knowing what the next 5 years may be. So I just kind of wanted to put it out there.
I anticipated that based on our past conversations that might be the group's opinion, and that would, so that I wasn't heading down the path that we would extend it as much as we would have to make some tough decisions about what not to grant. So
One of the, and as such, right, we've got $47,000 worth of requests for $25,000 worth of I did a little spreadsheet and stuff,
Funds.
monies, right?
Yeah.
And so, definitely gonna have to make some tough cuts. I'll be honest with you, my first pass was, did they get an award previously or not?
that was it.
Yeah, I guess
I did the
that's
same
where,
thing.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'd like to start, the ones that are applying for this for the first time.
Yeah.
There is, and then out of that list, there are 2 that I think are going to require more discussion than the other 3, and kind of go from there. That was my plan.
I considered the significant RDC investment as a previous award.
Yep.
I think we're all on the same page
Yeah,
there.
so I think there's
yeah,
only 4 that haven't gotten
Yeah.
awards before. I don't know, you just mentioned.
Yeah, that
5,
was
so-
one of,
okay.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there were 5 new ones that have not applied for.
Yeah.
One was the Stratify. The city gave, or the RDC gave them
$142,000.
$42,000, what seems like 2 weeks ago. It was a little longer than that. I apologize for being a little facetious, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think the city's done that for at least 2 years now, and
the reality is, it appears that work's being done anyway.
yeah, like
They've been working over there. So it's not like we're going to prevent them from continuing to improve the building.
With that being said, I guess we can start on the other, and then kind of go from there. Do we just want to walk through these individually, or?
Sure.
See what we think? I mean,
You're the man.
all right, I guess let's start with Vine and Oak, the new business going in on the old Strands on Pearl.
Okay, what's the, I just did the title of the
That's fine.
PDFs.
That's,
Which one is that?
Marv Thornsberry.
Okay,
They are looking to do some painting, a new awning and lighting. It's an $8,565 investment for 4,200, and we would looking for about 4,300 from us, 42, 82 from us.
And that one I had marked because it did say that that property has
Yes.
received a grant in the past, not that particular owner. So I did just put a flag on that as a discussion point.
As did I. I had a note that I think the awning actually looked pretty good, so are they changing it aesthetically, right, to match whatever they're looking
If you
for?
read through there, it says that it's not in great shape.
Is it
It's been
not?
there a
Okay.
while, and some of it is an aesthetic thing, but he's wanting to put on a more neutral color so that if somebody paints it, does something different with the building later or whatever. I'm sure he's building the business hoping it's going to be there for the next 30 years, and
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I personally hope it will be too.
I do too, yeah.
That being said, excuse me, I love the concept of what they're wanting to do. I think we need something like that.
And I don't know if I can hold it against them for somebody else applying and doing something to the building a year or two ago. This is to me, it's a new business, it's a new owner, it's a new,
So would we want to, if we group these, would we group this high probability, like in the high bucket, not a?
yeah, like I'm kind of in full support of this one.
Okay, so let's put that one there. Okay,
Questions, concerns, anybody else?
okay with that? If we put it like, then we can.
I do think that the previous, I think it's a property, right? I don't care if it changes hands, many times. I think they've got a previous award, so they are lower on my list.
I agree, Kevin.
I'm with Kevin Campbell.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I think from a first pass perspective, right? I mean, I think there, if you fund the 4 that haven't asked for any before, and again, I'm not suggesting we do that, but I'm just saying that there's money left over, and then I think we have the conversation. But I think the first pass is, did the property get previously funded by BIG? That's just my opinion.
That's fine. We'll disagree on that. So
yeah, I mean, I get that, but if the building changed hands every 3 years or every 2 years and somebody else was putting more money into it and it was being improved and
I get
better.
that too. Yeah.
It's a new owner, it's a new business in the town, something we'd like to see. That's why I'm there. I get your point. So let's let's leave it in that. I'm going to overrule Kev and Amy for a second if I have the authority to do that. And let's leave it on the high priority list for now.
I just
Nobody's
don't
gonna kick
want-
me
but
under the table for
By
doing
your
that.
scenario, if it changes hands and we're just paying to repaint the building 3 times in 3 years, I don't support that. So are they asking for different projects than what we previously funded? That would be a different scenario for me.
I think that is the case with this one. I think previously, we do gutters and,
I hate it when Amy fights me with logic.
Yeah, I can't remember
I-
specifically what we paid for that building for the last time. I just know.
That is a very good
the
point, Amy.
awnings on it, and it was painted.
Okay. Sorry. Randy, go away.
All right, what's next?
That's next, yeah.
I left my notes at the house. Not good this morning. Twin Source is the new business going into the
Former Tim.
former Tim Weberding's office there on Main Street. I'm not, I guess I'm not against part of what he's doing, but the landscaping part kind of concerns me unless it's more hardscapes and not just plants and flowers and mulch.
I think in the notes, it's plants and flowers and mulch. I think it was Kurtz that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kurtz is doing a lot of it, and I'm hoping I can get somebody else's thought and figure out what thoughts there. And then I think we had done it in the past where we really didn't count power washing and cleaning it as a cost into this.
yeah, I think it's one of those where does a roof, right, really help aesthetically, and I think this is why redefining the program or confirming our desires with the program, what's eligible, what's not eligible, I think is going to be very important. Unfortunately, we haven't done that for this, so it's a pretty subjective process. But just looking at the building, I mean, it looks like it could use a power wash, and it looks like that would probably really help aesthetically, right, if that's one of the goals downtown. Same with the you know, gosh, if they could trim that tree a little bit there in the front, if, you know, there are some plants and stuff. I mean, I think it would help the curb appeal. How many people actually drive by that? I don't know. But
It shouldn't be,
I
it shouldn't
personally
be
am-
all about driving by someplace. It should be walking or riding a
true.
bike. And in my mind, the impact that something has, because you see it closer up, I think that makes a difference too. I know this is going to sound like I'm belittling everything outside of downtown, but the visibility impact is greater when, now granted, we may have a lot of the walkers coming out of Benny's late at night, so they may not notice anyway. But nevertheless, in my mind, that is part of the impact as well. I kind of agree. It looks like the landscaping portion of it is the most significant part of this project. And it looks like it is just planting and mulch and things. But nevertheless, I think
So do we put this in the maybe pile that you are interested in maybe some of the other pieces of the project, but not the landscaping piece of the project? Would that be fair?
and again, I guess that's a question I have too, or do we want,
Typically,
or I would maybe put it in the pile if there is some funding left to revisit it.
yeah. I mean, I thought that our priority was to fund things that were permanent fixtures on the building.
Right. I mean,
Are we fine with,
yeah, I think I'd put that in the, hey, if we got some extra funds, then let's
Yep, I'm
figure
good
out a
with
way to
that.
do this.
8,500 of their total project was landscaping.
Okay.
Even though I hate not supporting a new business. All right.
Yeah, it's hard.
Van Kirk properties out on 46. Another new one. Most of it's windows, doors. I don't think there's a roof on this one. First time applicant, I think.
yeah.
See, I thought this project fell within what we funded in the past.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah, I would keep this at the top of the pile.
Yeah,
I
I'd
really
put
didn't
this
have
in
any
the-
notes in terms of, I had them fully funded in my
Yeah,
calculations.
Me too.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm okay if we keep it in the first pile, especially based on the criteria that he hasn't asked for anything. But again, in my mind, we're talking about creating a visual impact as well, and I don't get the same. We're not going to have the same visual impact from new windows when we're driving down the highway at
Sure.
speeding.
Trying to think of this from a selfish standpoint.
But at the same time, if we look in the past, what we've done,
We've done windows and
we've
doors.
done windows and doors. I mean, we've tried to prevent a building from deteriorating, so the life of the building is still of value to the community.
And I guess that's kind of my thing is, yes, I wish we didn't have to fund maintenance stuff, but a project like this, to me, it more increases the value of that building and the sustainability of that business that more affects our tax base that then comes back to the city.
Yep.
So that's,
We're going to leave that in pile number
we'll
one.
leave that in pile one.
Okay.
Backroads Bar and Grill?
Thank you. Back road,
Or do you want
Hold on.
Maple Enterprises or Stratify Holdings?
I think we discussed Stratify Holdings, that's, lack of a better word, that's a non-starter to me.
Right. Which one
I
are
don't
we?
blame him for asking,
Can I
but
ask one?
Why?
In terms of like how.
was that your question? Because the RDC gave him $142,000 like 2 months ago to paint the building.
Yeah, in terms of past recipients, then Dunlap's was 2 years ago and Backwoods was 3 years ago. So that
And then here at Nelco was how long ago?
6 years ago. There's 2 that were from 2020, Kurt Nelco and Maple. So those are, I put those in this pile, like,
So which one are we going to?
What's,
we have Hardebeck and
yeah, we got,
Tudor Square are those,
yeah, there's 2 other ones that we have never asked before, so,
yeah. And these ones, these 5 over here have all received.
right. So Hardebeck's, I think everybody knows it's the little greenhouse that's
Yeah.
on the corner over here. I think it would be very visually appealing, but I guess I've got questions on, is there a business still ran out of there? Or is this an apartment building and residential that we're not really,
I don't, Mark's office is there. I don't know if he, I don't think he does any appraisal business anymore, does he?
Not that
I mean, I haven't seen his name on anything. It may be just his
Rentals.
office for his rentals. My point about this one is, it is right in the middle of town, and it does get there is a lot of visibility there. In an appearance improvement would benefit downtown. My concern is he stated in his letter that he thought St. Louis Church was going to buy the property, and then they didn't. And my concern is and in his comment was, I think they were going to buy it and tear it down. If that's still, once something is out there like that, I'm thinking that can easily resurface. And do we want to fund something that in 3 to 5 years may be gone? That was a concern. That was my only concern about it. Other than that, again, is the visibility of people.
I guess my next question is if we open this up to primarily residential properties, I mean, I guess it's, even if it was mixed use and it was primarily commercial business, I wouldn't.
You'd be more.
I don't believe I'd have an issue, but I mean, is every duplex in town going to now be eligible for this? Mm-hmm. And that is a can of worms I do not want to open.
John, I had the same comment, like I'd hate to spend the money to only have it torn down later. You know, that being said, he's putting $16,000 into the project. We're only putting in 5. And so,
Right.
you know, does that kind of give credence that it might be a going concern? I don't know, but I'm with you too. If all he's going to do is kind of shore it up and then he's going to just rent it out to, you know.
Even if he was a property owner and there were 3 commercial buildings on the first floor, or 3 commercial businesses running out of the first floor and 2 or 3 apartments upstairs, I'd still think that would be in line with this. But I think that building is primarily residential, that it's not really.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know that he has like regular. Like I say, I don't know that he's doing his appraisal business anymore. So it may just be goes in there and does his property management stuff there. So no, I don't disagree with either one of you on that. And the reality is, the improvement may happen whether we assist or not.
What's Amy's 2 cents?
I would, based upon the fact that it might be torn down in the near future, was my hesitation to not put this in the
And
meeting.
I know we've been there before with the little building by the library, where we've spent money on where the blacks
Yep.
were. So that's my primary hesitation.
Yeah, but the difference there is we didn't know that that would be torn down in the near future.
Right.
Well,
This
and
is in the applicant, okay, in the application. That's the difference.
Right.
to be a little fair, we don't know that this will be
That's true.
torn down either.
That's true.
It's just that it's in the application.
Right, I know, no, I know.
You got to
Yeah.
appreciate his honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is more like the landscaping thing to me, and just the residential part of it rubs me the wrong way, but if.
I mean, do we
if I get
know that
overruled,
that's absolutely the case? Like he's renting it out to, there's people that live there?
I think upstairs there's an apartment. I think there's access from the
maybe
back, I
don't
think.
know enough about the building, and that's very possible too. But I know there's at least one residence there, and I don't,
Okay.
maybe that qualifies for, hey, there's one commercial building and there's one residence, 50/50, mixed use, move on, good enough.
Yeah, where I kind of landed was because it's only, our portion would only be 25% of the project, so it would be a significant investment on
His
his
part.
part as well. And because of its location, like I
Yeah, the-
was a
the little-
proponent of it, but that's just me.
For those two reasons, I am a proponent of it. Again, my concern is
Yeah.
whether it goes away in a couple of years, so.
Well, let's put that right now at the top of the maybe pile,
Okay.
if that works. We'll move to the next one. Tudor Square. I think Derek's looking at putting in some windows and replacing some stuff.
So this one is basically, in my mind, it's the same as Bill Van Kirk's, with the exception of what's the public perception look like?
Yes. I was thinking that too, in a revamped, while I appreciate people being part.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a rough thing. We're a small community, so you're going to have board members and so forth that are parts of city government that are also in business.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to discourage business owners or property owners in town to not.
But at the same time, there will be that perception, oh, well, they got awarded. I sound like a politician now. They got awarded because they're on the inside. That's my primary concern with this one.
And I go back to, what's the quality of the application? Does it align with our program? And if we're funding another project that's almost identical to this one,
Correct.
I think we got to fund this one.
Yeah, I think we're safe doing it. I mean, and maybe this is enough a stretch because it's at an arm's length, but I mean, Sarah worked for this group, took the applications, and her husband got a grant 6 years ago, and we're doing it again. We're looking at one again. I think this one fits for Derek. Whether he's on the RDC and city
I-
council or not.
And I wouldn't have any trouble saying no to this one if the project did not align with Big.
I would agree with that.
And I think that this is ripe for conversation, maybe, as we look at the program for future years.
I'm trying to keep some notes for future evaluation.
Is there any policy in place that says that if you are an elected official or you serve on a board as an appointee of the mayor, that you are disqualified from any city programs?
And I don't know that we want to go there because you have such a difficult time finding people to serve on boards or even run for elective office, that if that might be another reason to discourage someone from doing that.
Okay, so yeah, my question was nothing like that.
There's nothing, I don't believe we have any kind of
Yeah,
policy
I don't
like
think
that.
there is, and like I said, I don't want to discourage those people from serving. So I'd put this in the fund
Okay,
pile.
got it.
So that's all the ones that have never applied before, correct? Where do you want to go next? Maple Enterprises, looking at a new roof there in town, and there was something else with that, wasn't it? New windows?
What's the land contract? I know that Sarah had made a note. So are they the building owner, or what does that mean?
So instead of a bank having their mortgage, the previous business owner is holding their mortgage, so they're paying them on a monthly basis to own the building. So they technically own it. The previous owner would have to foreclose on them and go through the same process as a bank would to get the building back. So they technically own it.
But what he's asking for would stay with the building, whether the business was there or not.
Yeah,
So even if it was foreclosed on.
correct. And he's asking for the full $5,000, right?
Yes.
No.
No, 41 something.
So Maple and Hernalco both received a big grant in 2020. So I've got them together in this pile.
He does need a roof, that's for sure.
I was gonna say, based on the
I mean-
pictures, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean-
I walk past there every day. The same shingle's been missing for 5 or 6 years. Yeah. You know, I don't know that I've noticed many more, but there are, the roofs needs improvement. And, you know, and my point again, in my, that's a more highly visible building than the ones on 46. I mean, just the volume of people that go in and out of the coffee shop every morning. You know, now, the volume of foot traffic we're starting to see downtown since the Sherman's open. So, again, part of me is, I hate doing maintenance, but
Yeah, but that's part of what this is.
so I would not object to it.
Yeah, I guess I don't have a lot of objections here. I guess, big picture, let's put this in the
Okay.
very likely to be funded. Now, maybe we only fund 3,500 of it,
Yeah.
or $3,000 of it or something, but let's put that in the likely to be funded. And then, do we want to start with here at Nelco, because they're the next one here at Nelco, because they're the furthest one out of getting something again? Or what do you got?
Well, could we look at the ones that haven't gotten funding before, and let's determine
What we're going to do.
what, if any, so that we can get a dollar amount and kind of know what we're dealing with? Would that be okay?
So I'll just recap for you.
You want to go, okay, so we want to go back to Twin Source and the.
Yeah, so Twin
landscape.
Source, if I take out the landscaping, then they would be eligible for $1,150. $2,299 is everything but the landscaping. If we wanted to do a portion of that, great. If not, but just to give you an idea.
So what you guys have so far is that you've said you've put your top priority is Van Kirk and Tudor Square, so that's $10,000. Assuming those are fully funded, because they were the ones you said that you felt the strongest about. The next group is the Oak and Vine, the Hardebeck properties, and the Twin Source Power Systems. So those are the three we probably can talk about next.
So without, again, because, you know, there's a debate, I guess, over the other, but without Oak and Vine, if we remove the landscaping from Twin Source, we are at $16,150 with $8,850 remaining.
What's the other $5,000 you spent?
Vancouver. Oh, I'm sorry, I had that on Hardebeck. Which again, if we want to, I am supportive of Hardebeck at the full amount, but maybe not everybody is. Because of the total investment.
Well, I mean, John, are you full in support of Hardebeck?
I'm in support of it.
Kevin is. Amy?
No.
And I will tell you that when I talked to Jenny, that her concern was that she was concerned that it was like, she was concerned it didn't have enough commercial aspect to it.
That's my concern.
Okay. So would you be at 0?
For now, yes.
Okay.
But then, Kevin, I mean, that's 2 against 1. So.
Yeah. No.
I get that. I think, I mean, Jenny's not here to vote, so we can't do that. So it's
Yeah.
basically us. But
Yeah. So let's put that
if it is
at
a,
number
if,
5 out of the 5. Is that fair? Of the ones, number 5 out of the 5. So this is number 1 and 2. So 3 and 4 are Oak and Vine and the Twin Source Power Systems. Twin Source, we know he said $1,100 would cover 50% of the investment that's not landscaping. So that's an option. And then what do you guys think about Oak and Vine? Because that was a discussion about whether it's property or ownership that's receiving the grant.
All five.
Which one is it?
4,200 or something.
4280.
100.
Are we redoing, what did they get big money for in the past?
Hold on, let me look that up, because I'm fairly certain it was like new gutters and, are they Thornsbury?
Yeah. I think it may have been painting and,
Previous owner received a big grant for windows, soffits, fascia, gutters, and downspouts,
Okay.
according to Sarah's notes.
So no painting, no awning, no lighting.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I'm fully in favor of Oak and Vine, the full amount, whether the previous owner got it or not.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I think that's where
I think the overall impact on the whole community will be huge. The visible, he's making a concerted effort to be a good business member of the community. I've been around Marvin enough. I've seen him talking with Ernesto to try to work together on things. I think that has a lot. I think that brings a lot of value to the whole scheme of things. So,
Okay.
So that
So-
puts us at 14.
So with, again, I'm going to just use the names that I have: Cox, Thornsbury, Twin Source at the reduced amount, and Van Kirk, we're at 15,432 with
Yep.
9,500 remaining.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to give Twin Source the $1,100 for everything except the landscaping.
I'm just
I think
giving
that
this
was
a
a
status.
suggestion.
Yeah.
I would approve, I would second that.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it doesn't matter, my vote, good, works for me. 11, what?
11,150.
No, 1150.
I'm, what?
You said 11,150, so it would be.
I'm sorry, 11,150, yes. So 8568 was the amount of,
Can I be a stickler, just because it'll make my math easier?
yeah?
You give Twin Source 1,200 and you give Vine and Oak 4,200, and it'll make the math work out for everything else? Is it wrong to short one $80 and?
I don't know, I would prefer just to keep it
Okay,
Yeah.
then we'll do
what
that.
it is.
So Oak and
1150,
Vine is
4280.
4282 or 42?
It
4280.
was 4282.
Okay.
Just for my minutes. And then Twin Source is 1150, Van Kirk 5, VIOH is 5,000,
So what's that left? Did you say, Kevin?
9568.50.
So the next in priority, the next three that were the top priorities were Hardback, Maple, and Hurt Nelco lamping.
No, we did not.
No, at some point, we got to make a decision on Hardebeck. And I guess my thought there is, if it is an office downstairs and one apartment, that's mixed use enough, I think we can support it. And I guess right now, I don't know the answer to that, so I'm not 100% sure how to move forward.
Well, can we talk about the Hirt Nelco and Dunlap? Right?
Hurt Nelco and Maple.
Yeah, we still,
Well, I don't think we've talked about Dunlaps yet.
Yes, they were on the last, they were one of the most recent.
we were just going, the ones that have gotten it.
Well, and just so that we have a conversation about it, it looks like Dunlap's is already in process, and so they kind of thought, oh, there's a big thing, let's go ahead and put it in there, because they've got the,
That, they took that, because there used to be different siding down the side of that building, just like as samples. And I think they took that down a year ago when they did the rest of the siding, and now they're coming, I think it's had that tieback on it for a while.
I was just going to say, I thought that the Tyvek meant that it was kind of in process. Like, just because of the pictures, and again, I don't know anything else than the pictures and the application, it just felt like this was already in process, And
No, I
let's
don't-
see if we can,
I don't think it was.
Was it
well,
not?
Like
Okay.
you say, I think they took that stuff down.
I think it's been like that for a while.
okay.
They are just the most recent recipient. They received it 2 years ago, so that's why I had them on this end of.
Well, and I thought that the note said that they weren't eligible, and I guess, we would need to look at the math or whatever, but that was, I think, Sarah's note on the front page. Bless you. But yes, I think that's a good litmus, that it was the most recent, and so it probably has the lowest priority.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
How much was Maple asking for? 40? 4,100?
4125.
All right. And then here at Nelco is putting new windows, new door.
And
Windows, side door, and paint
painting
brick.
And they're asking for how much?
I think they're asking for 5.
They're asking for 5 out of a $23,000 project.
I guess I'm,
I like them all. I like here at Norco and I like Maple. What was the other one?
Hardback.
Back roads, they wanted to redo the
still
back
got
porch.
Roads and Hardback.
And I'm not sure exactly if that's even visible, is that?
It is.
Is it? Okay.
Isn't it the one that's right on the side of the building in the front?
Yeah, it's,
And
the-
I went by there yesterday.
It extends down the,
It's pretty bad.
it's the smoker lounge.
Yep. But it could use replacement.
But they were the second most recent
Yes.
big grant award, and so I would have them lower priority as well.
and then what's the last one? So we still got Hardback.
So Stratify Holdings, Dunlap, and Backroads were the 3 that, Backroads and Dunlap have received a big grant recently or more recently, and of course Stratify received a different type of grant. And so we have the 4 on this side that we've said yes to, so the 3 in the middle are Maple, Lamping, and Hardback.
Just for math, if we said yes to both Maple and Lamping, that leaves us $443.50 remaining, just,
Okay, so if
so we
did
could
5,000
fund both of those. Yeah, 5,000 for Lamping and 4125 for Maple.
I would be a yes to both of those. Again, I mean, they're both visible,
Making a significant investment.
and they're and kind of to Kevin's point, kind of along the same, I mean, here at Nalco's talking a $20-some thousand overall project, and basically they're asking us for about 20%.
Still haven't done anything with Hardback. If we fund both of those, which I'd support,
You know,
Understood.
I think granted, Jenny is not here to vote. She did
yeah, I mean, she's,
discuss with Angela. She brought her list in. While I would love to go forward with it, I think the money that we're talking about appropriating right now will give us a pretty good bang for the buck. Again, I mean, you're coming in from the south side of town. That's when you get into downtown, that's one of the first buildings you see. But at the same time, I just don't know that, I don't know that I want to go in divide, I guess we could go back, in my mind, we could go back and say, oh, well, let's give him $1,000 less, and let's give him $1,000 less, and let's apportion, some of that over there. I don't want to do that.
okay. Then I
Well, and
guess-
again, as we sit, we have 443.50. I would say either that's great and we just don't spend that, or, is that something that it's not going to be enough to move any of the other projects, right? It's not going to be a go, no-go
Right.
decision for them.
And there's-
Would we want to consider giving a little bit to Twin Source for the landscaping, because it
The rest
would
of
be
it to
improvement.
Source and-
I think it would look nice, but it's not fully funding, it's hardly funding the landscaping as well. And if they decide not to move forward with landscaping, then of course, there wouldn't be any money eligible.
I would approve that.
I would support that,
So the total amount to Twin Source would be what?
basically,
1,000?
basically 1,500.
Hold on, let me not do basically. 1,000, well, hold on, I guess I need to,
Well, I don't remember what we were left with
Yeah.
or something.
I need to get the cent, do we care about the cents, or do we want to round
No,
everything?
I don't care about the cents.
It's up to Brad.
1593.
Okay, so Maple Enterprises approve application $5,000, deny Stratify Holdings, approve Oak and Vine at $4,282, Twin Source Powers approve at $1,593, with a caveat that non-landscaping, the other things have to be done first, right? Van Kirk Properties approve at $5,000, Back Roads, application denied. Tudor Square approve at $5,000, Dunlap application denied, Hardebeck's application denied, and then Hirt Nelco approve at $5,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
all in favor.
so you're making that,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to fund that as presented in the minutes.
I will second.
All in favor?
aye?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none.
Let's do the math again. Maple's 5, Oak and Vine,
No, Maple's
Can I just-
4125.
okay.
I have 5,000, 4282, 1593, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000.
That math
Where am
didn't
I
work.
wrong?
I'm sorry. Maple is 4125.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah, okay. That's where I was going because we were over 25 grand.
Okay, so Maple, 4120.
But now we should be good.
Maple's 4125, Oak and Vine is 4282, Twin Source is 1593, Van Kirk 5,000, Tudor Square 5,000, and Hirt Nelco 5,000.
Yes.
I have two.
All right,
I think we're okay now.
awesome, that's done.
Brad, I thought Brad had his calculator, but it's his phone. We're okay, right? Okay.
All right, and that,
So do we need to, so Mr.
we-
Campbell and Mr. McGuire, are you amending your motions to amend the corrected numbers? I think you should revote.
Yes, we can-
You're going
let's-
to amend your
well, let's
motion
change the motion to
reflect
to
the actual
reflect
numbers?
the true numbers in the minutes
And then Mr. McGuire, do
to
you?
approve.
I do second.
Okay, and then I think you should take a vote again.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Good, that's done. Good. Unfortunately, I need to get going. Anything else in the next,
Everything else on the agenda was just general updates. Nothing that really necessarily needs to be addressed with the group.
I'm assuming at some point we're going to make the EDC strategic plan public. Has that already been done? Is that posted somewhere?
Actually, I'm getting ready to start scheduling meetings. I thought I would try to set some strategic meetings with key community members so that I could just start rolling it out and to people and who are going to ask more detailed questions. And so,
Okay, awesome.
if anybody in particular that you definitely want me to meet with one-on-one, let me know. I'm starting to set up the meetings already.
I thought I remembered last meeting, and I was looking through the minutes, and I don't know that we officially approved it, right? Because we had just gotten the final version. And I thought I remember making a comment at the end of the meetings like, hey, let's have everybody reread this, make sure we're all on board, and approve it at the next meeting. So I would argue that we need to do that so that it's reflected in the minutes before we make it public.
We ready to do that?
That makes sense.
I think, are we ready to do that, or do we need to wait till next meeting to do that?
I'm good. I'll make a motion.
I will make a motion that we approve our 2026 EDC strategic plan.
As present, yeah, okay. Yep.
Was that a second?
I will second. Oh,
wait as long as you need.
I'm good.
Thank you. Having a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. That is another completed project. We got the economic development report. Amy, Melissa, any comments? Okay, hearing none. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peace.